And with that, the script is done. Now I can get to organize it and set things up, and this should be ready for the day of the anniversary. Surely nothing extraordinary will happen that will distract me from finishing it. Shit. Hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time of the day is for you. It is I, the Basnick, but prefer to be called Nico. Before I hear that joke again, I am not associated with Joggington. You already know by the title that... yeah, today marks 7 years, if I finish this on time, since Deltarune Chapter 1 release, and last month it was a decade since Undertale. Isn't that crazy? For some perspective, I was 13 at the time Undertale release, just doing little doodles in the back of my notebooks, no much difference skipping to 15 when Deltarune released. Move forward to current time, I'm 22 with a full-time job as an animator. So, I thought of making a sort of video simply pondering on the fact. And just like Toby, I'm gonna make this mostly about Undertale so you can't tell me I'm late to this. It really is Undertale the one I can probably talk about the most. When Deltarune released, I didn't use Twitter, so I just saw a video on YouTube titled Undertale 2, and I was like... and I was gonna be mad I didn't realize it was free, and I could have just played it right away myself. They go into jail blind, and he kicked my ass. It all felt... odd. I really wasn't expecting there was ever going to be any more Undertale related stuff. And it's kinda Chapter 1's thing to leave you eternally wondering about what happened throughout the years it took until Chapter 2 release. There's a lot of things I can talk about Deltarune in other videos, with a lot of memories still left to be made. Well, this is probably the only time I really get to talk about this. I don't know how to transition into the next part, so... I still remember the first time I heard of Undertale. It was one of in high school who was showing me the drawings. One was a Metaton EX, and ironic, that Metaton became my favorite boss of the game. But more specifically, my first proper introduction to it was... the Stronger Than You free response animation by Ero-chan. Which, in case you're wondering, yes, I was also a fan around the time. You can make your own guesses about the soon rabbit hole I was plummeting through from there. Side note, I really want to mention another thing I remember was an important part of this core memory, which was, as many others, the Sans After No Surviving. On the Sans Sans After No Surviving, what do you mean this video was made by Lolo? I was also a huge SU fan back then, so yeah, it makes sense. The thing is, I don't remember if I saw that before or after actually checking the game. I just think it's interesting that twice there was this super popular bridge between the two, which isn't a lot, but it wouldn't happen twice, right? Right? But well, I guess my own personal example is more like a three-way hyperfixation intersection. What am I talking about again? The first time I saw actual gameplay was in a stream. I didn't have a PC back then, important to clarify. A guy playing the recently released Spanish fan translation. I remember the exact moment very clearly. The guy had gotten a tutorial and accidentally killed her. After the usual flowy mockery, their chat told them how to spare her. So they reloaded and succeeded. What happened next was simply just... so you were able to play by your own rules. You spared the life of a single person. But don't act so cocky. I know what you did. I was instantly hooked. Of course, that was the initial reaction. I think the reason why I ended up really getting invested in this game, to the point it became my favorite game, was... well, it's actually kinda similar to that in a way. The game presents to you all these ideas, be it a character doing or saying something, an interaction, a detail about the world, a mechanic of the game, something you wouldn't really pay much attention or consider important in any other game. But then you keep looking, deeper and deeper, and you realize someone naturally took the time to think about all this much more in depth than you originally thought. You realize a lot of the actions a character takes were carefully thought out for them to make sense to a deep core of their personality. You start seeing everything they do or did differently, and this applies to the world and the mechanics of it all, and how it all interconnects in this carefully thought out puzzle that isn't necessarily asking you to put it together, but again gets you invested enough where you want to. And I think that's so special. Like many others have said before, it is something you can really only accomplish in a video game, but also something that only someone passionate about what they were doing. To put all this time and effort in procuring so many little aspects of it that they didn't have to, but did. Filling this world with so much personality and introspection you can tell they wanted to share. That makes it so special, at least to me. You have no idea how much it took me to record all that without getting interrupted at least once. Like, it's insane. That is a feeling probably lost to many now, with how much popular the game has become. Most everyone knows its tricks already, or has seen it done in games before and after. Even if they have no idea of any of these, they'll more likely go in with the notion that someone told them this is the best game ever, and maybe feel a little bit disappointed when it doesn't meet their idea in their heads. Feel like they don't get it. But I think that's also fine. It's fine if you feel you don't get it. Undertale is much more than just the best game ever made. Well, granted, it is still a really good game, I'm sorry. It is something that means a lot to so many people. The memories they made, how they made them feel, those are some things that are hard to replicate. That is also why I think you see so many people say that even if Deltarune ends up being objectively better than Undertale, it is a extremely personal experience that you can't go back in time and have again. Undertale is not a perfect game. I could probably list some of my own critiques I have about the game. But that's also part of one of my other points. Undertale was just a game a dude with the help of some of his friends developed in the basement of one of them, with ideas he would come up with while on class. You don't have to make the most impressive or complex story/game. It doesn't even have to be perfect. Even if you don't feel like your ideas have enough merit of their own, you are the only one that can tell them the way you will. And as long as you put your passion and love into it, a piece of you want to share with the world, that could mean a lot to someone. And sometimes, that can be just enough. And now that Undertale is done with, this didn't come out on time. God, it didn't. I'm writing this part after having edited everything else, and I just want to add that, number one, thanks for sticking to the end. It means a lot that my first time doing something like this, and I'm glad people, I'm assuming, liked it. Number two is, I know this was probably not as long as you expect a video of this kind to be. I don't know, I guess I just said everything I wanted to. I didn't feel the need to extend myself. If anything, this is better for my first time as an easy one. As for any future videos, I'm still planning on making more animated-ish content. If it is about more scripted videos, I can't say anything for certain. What I can say is, it'll probably be something about Deltarune, and probably something about flowers. To end things, you know the drill. Like, subscribe if you'd like to keep a close eye at any of that in the future, and comment wherever you thought of this. I love to read people's thoughts. If you like the art here, you can follow me on my other, more active socials. And if you just like my voice, I do streams every Sunday at 1 PM EST playing games on here too. So cause it may struggle trying to string a conversation without a script in front of my face. With nothing more to add, see ya until next time. That's all, folks.